Tonight. Tonight. Here we go, tonight. Here we go. Tonight. Tonight. Here we go. Tonight. Tonight. Here we go. Tonight. Here we go. Tonight. Here we go. Good. Go.
coverage of the NFL has brought us to one of the league's most recognizable homes, Lucas Oil Stadium, opened in 2008 here in Indianapolis. Well, a tough start for both of these teams, still searching for their first win of the season as we get going in week 3. And this will be a touchback, so we're going to need our first snap to see the first action of this game. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10.
Ready.
They'll start this one on the ground with McCaffrey. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First and 10, here's Herbert. His first throw is an interception. Isaiah Simmons picks it off. The 30. He's at the 10. And he makes the half goal. It's a touchdown on the pick 6. Now it's Cameron Dicker on for the extra point. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Jaguars will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30. They kick the running back in motion. Herbert back to it after the pick. Escapes the pocket. He's keeping it. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
First and 10, Herbert. He's on the move. That's caught by Hollywood Brown. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. Throwing on first is Herbert. Buys time, rolling right. So this one goes against the offense. So the offense was right to be walking backwards. The flag does go against them. All right, here we go. Second down.
Set. Go.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. Finds a seam down the middle. And he stopped just before he reaches the red zone at the 21. They'll come up first and 10. Herbert from the gun. Oh my, it's intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Devin Witherspoon. And the Jaguars will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, well, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
We'll cobble together a yard there. Arden Key there for the stop. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Makes the grab in bounds left side. And what a hit there. Ouch, she pays the price for moving the chains that time. New set of downs for him from the 46.
Here we go.
Taylor gets it on 1st and 10. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
2nd down now, 7 to go.
Here we go.
Fields out of the gun. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
With how hard it is to get an open look downfield, can't let the coverage off the hook with the drop. Saw open space, started running before he was able to watch the ball into his hands.
He completes it in traffic. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
Hey, Terry. Extend. Say hi.
Fields on 1st down. He's got his man. That's Alec Pierce. He's finally caught, and he lost the football. Oh, no, it's out. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. Well, nearly the end of that series, partner. You could almost see those players rooting for the ball to bounce across that sideline before a defender made the recovery.
Yeah, sometimes that sideline's a player's worst enemy.
And this is caught. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars parlay the interception into points. Dicker on now for the PAT. And he shanked that one to the right. It is no good. So following the missed point after, a chance to take his frustrations out on that football as he sends this away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
21. Set.
On the ground to begin the drive with McCaffrey.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches.
Ready.
Going run again with McCaffrey. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And it'll be 1st down, Colts. Herbert now, blitz coming. Forced out to his right. And the Jaguars are there. He's hauled down. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up. Trying again following the sack. State. Again he's under pressure and he goes down. And the back-to-back sacks. Nice work by the defense there. Sets him up with a 3rd down.
Whatever could go wrong for him so far certainly has. And so many times when we see a QB throw an interception early, it just starts to get in your head. That little seed of doubt. That little thought that you got a flush of, oh, what's going to happen next? Because then you hold the ball, and you hold the ball.
Oh, brother, it's another interception. Isaiah Simmons picks it off. And the Jaguars take over as they intercept it for the 3rd time in just our opening quarter.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Right? You watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick six. Yeah, it stinks for the offense, but that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
Couldn't connect on 1st. It's 2nd down.
Here we go.
From the gun, Taylor. And he's taken down with a short gain to the 25.
ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Here we go. Hey, 10. Right.
Fields on third. Complete beyond the marker. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with first and goal.
Here we go.
We're back for the start of the second quarter. Jaguars have the ball and a chance at 6. On the move, headed right. And that's going to be a sack. He goes out of bounds well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, Kate, even with nothing open downfield, there was still the option to simply throw it away. Mental mistake there, and it cost them 3 yards.
Here we go.
And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Jaguars pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. It's a Justin Fields touchdown. Jags offense hasn't left since the touchdown. They're going for 2 here. He's throwing for it. Chased out to his right. And he can't connect with his man, so they tried for 2, but it doesn't work out. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They're out and set, first and 10.
Set. Set.
Herbert now off the play fake. Toward the sideline, and he's got it. It's an Indianapolis touchdown. The Colts fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. That is as efficient as an offense can be. 1 play, 70 yards, and 6 points, Brock. They can save the rest of the plays they had prepared for their next series.
Rest of the plays? Why even call a different one? I mean, that one hit the sweet spot on the barrel and got out of the yard in a hurry. Perfect call to catch him sleeping to start that drive.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Easy. Here we go. Right.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. Oh, he put everything he had into that throw. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on first down, but just couldn't make the connection.
Well, that's a major missed opportunity for the offense and a sigh of relief for the defense. Now you got to adjust a little bit, get some extra help on the back end of your defense to take those shots away.
Right.
Second down and 10. Fields escapes the pocket. And he wisely avoids contact, sliding down there, and that played good enough for a first. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's a Jaguar first down.
Here we go.
Shotgun, handoff to Taylor. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down.
Here we go. Go.
Shotgun snap to Fields. Flush down out to his left. They get to him, and he loses the football. It's out! But it bounces out of bounds, so they'll retain possession. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Good.
Straight ahead with Taylor. And he'll be met near the line to limit the gain to a yard. Greg Newsome bringing that play to an end. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
No loss. No loss. Here we go, son. You got what? You got a mini base. What? What?
This time it's a passing play. Gets everything he has under this. He's got it deep downfield. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars stretch their lead to a 3-score advantage. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Jaguars go up by 19. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Go.
Lone back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. They get an even 10 on that play. And it's good for an Indianapolis first down. Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Catch is made down the right sideline. Down to the 10. All the way. Touchdown, Indy. The Colts fighting back and shaving 6 off that lead. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. His 2nd scoring catch of the game. And he shanked that one to the right. It is no good. All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Here we go, son. West right there. Hey. West right. Right.
Here's Fields to throw. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete. No luck finding his receiver that time. And now it's 2nd down.
Hey, Monday. Here we go. Out. Tonight.
Looking to throw Fields. That's complete. McLaurin along the sideline. And he'll be across midfield and close to that 45 before going out. New set of downs for him from the 46.
10. Here we go, son. Tonight.
On 1st and 10, it's Fields. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Looking for his wide receiver there. So now it's going to be 3rd and long.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And he's a yard or two shy of the 30 before going out. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs.
They've run this 12-yard out route, Kate, at the combine, well, all the way back to last century when I had to throw it. In this throw, this is a big boy throw. This is a differentiator. Can you make that deep out throw on time, on rhythm, and accurately? Well, that was teaching tape right there.
It's a Jacksonville touchdown. Dicker on now for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Jaguars push the lead to 20. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10.
Set.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. He's on the move. This is caught by Isaiah Likely. And they can't jump to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Herbert on 1st down. He gets it complete to Josh Reynolds. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Into the red zone after that big pickup. It's 1st and 10 from the 15. Working inside the red zone. Oh no, they get him yet again. Isaiah Simmons picks it off. And the Jaguars get it as he makes his 3rd interception in this game.
I know he started the play as a defender. Gosh, he looked good, didn't he? Running it back. He looked like a receiver navigating on that return. The way he saw the field, he baited obstacles, and he chewed up yardage in the open space. Well, it'll make those offensive coaches and teammates proud. We've seen defensive players get touches on occasion, and I think he just gave himself maybe a look on that side of the ball down the road.
The Jaguars in a good starting spot for this drive. Coming up, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Fields. That one's caught along the left sideline. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. A new set of downs forthcoming. It's 1st and 10.
Open. Right.
Fields throwing here. Trying for the deep ball. And he scores. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars boat racing them to the halftime locker room. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Jaguars continue piling on to this lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Set. Green hot.
From the pistol, it's Herbert. Taken in by Likely. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. He finds him 16 yards and a new set of downs. Great start to the drive. They're up in the neighborhood of midfield after just one play. Buys time, rolling right. He finds his running back. Nice work, complete.
Sure showed off some mobility on that play. Got outside the pocket and easily found an open man.
Second and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here.
Set.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. Forced out to his right. That's complete. Here's Brown. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. Now Herbert again. On the move, headed right. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So second down coming up.
Set. Ready.
It's Herbert once more. Made the throw as he was getting hit, Brock, and it's incomplete. Trying to find his tight end. So they're left facing third and long.
Set.
Herbert to throw once more. Complete beyond the marker. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. The Jaguars are going to call their first time out. He brings the offense up now for a first and 10.
Set.
Running back sent in motion left.
Ready.
First down from the red zone. Chased out to his right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now.
Set. Ready. Hot.
Trying again following the sack. That one is incomplete. The clock now down to 16 seconds remaining.
You need to buy your receivers enough time to get open along the route, and your quarterback enough time to find and hit them with the throw. When the line doesn't hold up, incompletions follow.
Herbert here, third and long. Completed here to McCaffrey. And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line.
I'm a big fan of the screen pass. Really, you can run a screen as they just showed on any play. First, second, third down, sometimes even fourth. But it takes great acumen, a great football IQ defensively to have an awareness it's coming, and then more importantly, to stop it.
Set.
Oh, quick throw here, left side. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. And they drag him down just in time. He's shy of that marker. We've got a turnover on downs.
You know, these fourth down plays are all about trust. You lean into what you do best.
Here we go.
Unfortunately, with the lack of execution, you're going to throw that one off the playlist.
He lets one fly deep downfield. They connect on the deep shot. At the 20. And somehow they've reached the end zone with no time remaining in the half. That score was less about the throw, although it was good, partner, but it was more about getting it to somebody who knew exactly what to do with it.
Well, Kate, it's a good thing the touchdown shows up on both their stat sheets, because sometimes, well, it's quarterback who delivers, and sometimes it's the effort after the catch that really makes the magic happen.
Dicker on now for the PAT. And the kick is good, so they add 7 to their lead on the final play of our first half. That brings us to halftime. We'll get a break as our teams make their adjustments and then return with more of the NFL on EA Sports in just a little bit. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate, Scott, Brock Ewart with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Here's Greg Dortch with the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Angel. Here we go. Man. Right.
Out of the shotgun, Fields. He's got it deep downfield. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. Give him 30 yards on that one. And that'll be good for a Jacksonville 1st down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Right.
Running right, this is Taylor. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
551. Here we go. Yep. Alpha. Is that all right?
Fields on 1st down. Gets this one to Pierce. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal.
Here we go.
Taylor. And he's tackled with markers down. This one should be on the defense. Easy call for the officials there. He was offsides at the snap, and that's going to cost him. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal.
Here we go, tonight.
Running it after the penalty. Takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. The Jaguars grow the lead coming out of halftime. It's a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Dicker's extra point is up and good. And the Jaguars grow their lead yet again. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback. First and 10 now from the 30.
Set.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. What a hit! He gets flattened to the ground. A nice 6-yard pickup. They're going to have 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4. At the 30.
Now a give. It's McCaffrey headed right. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
He's only going to manage to get back to the line. Travis Jones, the man in on that tackle. 2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. Running back sent in motion. To the air this time. Herbert. Escapes the pocket. Into the hands of Likely. And the tackle's made just beyond midfield at the 48. A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. He's on the move. This is ahead for about 5. That was Kayvon Thibodeau there to wrap him up.
Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt. Even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
Buys time, rolling right. On the run right, throwing deep down the side. Had the window to go deep, but just couldn't make it happen. Now it's 3rd down. Not on the same page with his tight end. And it'll be 3rd and 5 coming up. Herbert from the gun. Forced out to his right. This ball's cut by McCaffrey. And they bring him down around the 34. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
That's good for another Colts. First and 10 at the 34-yard line.
Throwing with a blitz on the way. Has a man. It's Brown. And he's able to take this one down to the 25. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
Second and 1 at the 25-yard line.
They give to Spiller from the gun. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
The tackle made by
Kate, it's amazing how fast these guys are on the field and how fast your fortunes can turn. 2nd and short run, you're feeling good about yourself. But with a negative play, well, now comes a critical 3rd down.
Herbert now to throw on 3rd. Flushed out of the pocket. He's running for it. And he's brought down after a short gain.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock. You know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that. And it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
They'll go. It's McCaffrey. And he takes a shot near the marker, but it looks like he still has enough for that 1st down.
4th down, pressure on him. He was not backing down for a second. Nice effort to carry the rock. More importantly for his offense to get a 1st down.
Throwing on 1st is Herbert. Couldn't connect right side. It's incomplete.
That was it. That was their chance to escape this series. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points, and that was their ticket off the field. Unfortunately, they just couldn't quite hang on.
Second and 10 now. And they pick him off again. There he goes on the right side. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. Dicker on now for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Jaguars tack on 7 more to their lead. A quick chance at redemption after that pick 6 as it's sent away. And the kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. Touchback. This drive starting from the 30. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Set. Ready.
Running back gets the handoff. Stiff arm success. Has room down the left sideline. Powering across for the touchdown. The Colts still need a lot more as they shrink the deficit. Wow, great stuff there, Brock. He busted that one open, got downhill, and got in for 6. Huge run there.
Yeah, and this is how you break a game open. He found that lane, and he was gone. What a tremendous effort in the blocking scheme there to just spring him enough so he could take it to the house.
That one splits the uprights. Thankfully, only 1 quarter to play now. We've reached the end of 3 in this lopsided affair. And after that last-second score in the third, we'll resume play with a kickoff.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
All set for the kickoff. Sly with the honors. Wallace with a return here. And he's walloped just as he gets across the 25. What a hit. He's down shy of the 30. They're out and set. 1st and 10.
Hey, Ken. Hey, Ken. Tonight.
Shotgun snap to Fields. He's got Pierce. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I love throwing on 1st down. And when you see a 1st down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
New set of downs for him at the 38.
Here we go, son.
A give left side to Taylor. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
Play action, Fields. He's going deep. This is caught inside the 15. And they're going to take this in for the Jacksonville touchdown. The Jaguars are running them out of the building. Dicker tacks on the extra point. And the Jaguars continue adding on to that lead. Dicker all lined up and ready to boot it away. And it bounces out of the end zone, so they'll set up shop at the 30. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Stay tight. What is it?
From the gun, they go with Spiller. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
To be a stud back in this league, it takes more than just checking the athletic boxes. There's an IQ, a feel, a patience and craftiness required, along with just tremendous vision. He showed all of it navigating that run up the middle.
He'll get this one to Brown. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. That play gains 15, and it moves the sticks.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Completed left side to Smith. It's a 24-yard gash, and it gives them the 1st down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Working inside the red zone. On the move, headed right. Got a man. McCaffrey has it. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Herbert to throw once more. That one's incomplete in the end zone. Tough to blame him for that drop, Brock. Even if it would have been a touchdown, that was a great effort defensively, timing that hit, keeping them from hitting the end zone.
Reaction and burst. You get in the red zone defensively, you'll hear it all the time. You cannot wait. You've got to react, and then you got to burst. And that defender does a tremendous job of breaking that pass up with contact.
This gets the first and more. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards him with a first and goal.
First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Hey, Ray. Set.
McCaffrey trying to punch it in. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try.
And they get to him as he was trying to make something happen. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction. So now, here's third and goal. To throw, Herbert. Chased out to his right. Pressure's there, and he goes down again. And they're headed in reverse after that sack.
That is a wow. Maybe that's a double wow for me. 2 sacks in the previous 3 snaps. I can really criticize quarterbacks, and too often I do, to get rid of the football, but that is about a defensive effort. Knowing what's on the line when you get in the situations in the red zone, Kate, can't do it much better than that.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. Escapes the pocket. And that'll chip away some of this near the end. It's caught for a touchdown. The Colts making the scoreboard look a touch better. Man, Brock, that defense held up 3 straight plays. They just couldn't come up with the one final stop they needed to get off the field.
And how about this offense? Courage of the offense to run it back for one more snap and make the adjustments on 4th and goal to finally punch it in. Quite the mini little chess match we just saw play out over those last 4 plays.
Joey Sly set to kick off.
All set for the kick.